Hello to all the ladies in my Energized Women Facebook group. Hope you're having a good week so far, or a good Monday. I'm just going to try something. Trying to work out so I can get the comments. Here we go. I think we'll see if that works. No, swipe left. All right, we'll see if that works. So I'm hoping to be able to see any comments that people make. So if you're on, say hi, just so I can see if I've got it on the right setting. But anyway, this afternoon, I'm going to be talking about the freedom of less. So a couple of questions for you. First of all, do you ever feel like your to-do list is overflowing? Well, just fiddling with the angle there. Didn't like the angle of my face, so I changed it. Anyway, do you ever feel as though your to-do list is overflowing? Do you often feel that a lot of your time is stolen by mundane tasks? For example, putting things away, tidying up after yourself, or even tidying up after others in your family. If you can relate to these, please type in the comments, "Oh my goodness, that's me," or something similar, because that's pretty much the topic of today's talk. I'm going to talk about the freedom of less. Now, I think part of this comes from, in today's society, we're buying bigger houses, they've got more storage space, we're spending more money than ever before on stuff, and we're filling all those storage spaces in our big houses to overflowing. So it's no wonder that a lot of our time is getting stolen by dealing with all of this stuff. And we also think that this is the key to happiness. If we have a bigger house, a new car, a nicer wardrobe, the latest smartphone, a huge TV, a surround sound theatre room, then we'll be happy. Now, I think we all know, when we stop and think about it at a conscious level, that happiness cannot be found in stuff. We're looking in the wrong place. However, I think some very clever marketing people we're constantly being bombarded by all these messages, and so at a subconscious level we actually do start to believe that that's where happiness is, by getting a bigger house, getting a new car, getting that new dress. Obviously it's wrong. It's the wrong place to find our happiness, because happiness is found within us. It's found when we believe that we're living a meaningful life, doing meaningful things, for example, going places, having fantastic experiences, appreciating the beauty in Mother Nature, spending quality time with loved ones. They're the sorts of things that we need to be doing to find happiness, not buying more stuff. But as I mentioned, we're continually bombarded with all these messages that if we buy more stuff, we will be happy. So our subconscious is buying into that. So what do we do instead? How do we, I suppose, extricate ourselves from this con of stuff will make us happy? So recently I've been doing a bit of research on the concept of minimalism, and I absolutely love it so far. So it's not just about stuff. That's what I think is really powerful about the minimalist life. It goes so much deeper than, at a surface level, it's basically getting rid of unnecessary stuff and things that you don't use. But it goes so much deeper than that. So have you ever basically walked through your house, or can you think about this as a concept? You walk through the house, there's lots of clutter, you see lots of things that need doing, you see things that need putting away, you see bookshelves that are overflowing, you think, oh my gosh, I need another bookshelf. Now, the flow-on effect from that at a psychological level is a cluttered space, physical space, can actually then produce clutter in our minds, and it also increases our stress levels. Funny that. So implementing some minimalist practices has the flow-on effect of reducing stress, increasing our happiness, and it creates the space to allow us to focus on the things that are going to allow us to live a meaningful life and therefore feel freer and be happier. So for the past week, I've been going through my home or different areas of my home and getting rid of anything that I either don't use or is unnecessary. Now, in the minimalist guides, I suppose, there's a myriad different ways to deal with different categories of stuff in your house. Now, I'm just going to share with you 2 examples that I have used that I have found helpful. Number 1 is commit to, and this is a good starting point, commit to having a clean area in your house. So choose one space, clean everything off it, and commit that you are never going to leave anything on that surface again. So I did this just over the weekend. I think it was yesterday I did it. I decided, because my office is kind of in a little nook off the main living area. So if there's paperwork everywhere, which quite often there is, it just makes the rest of the house look messy. So I decided to choose my office space, and I cleaned all the paperwork away. I got rid of a whole heap of stuff. I filed a lot of stuff away, and it looked amazing. So obviously the next step is committing to not putting anything on those surfaces. So basically what that means is when I sit down and work, I can spread papers everywhere, but when I finish work, I have to get rid of all those papers, whether that be putting them away in a filing cabinet, shredding them, whatever I need to do with that paperwork. So far, so good. It's only day 2 of my clean area office space, but it feels amazing. So that was the first example I wanted to share with you. The second one is I tackled the laundry cupboard, like the linen cupboard. So another way of dealing with unnecessary stuff is to have a rule or a criteria as to how many items in that category you're going to keep. So for example, bed sheets or bed linen sets. We've got 3 beds in our house. We've got our bed and then 2 spare beds. So I decided that 6 was going to be the magic number of sheet sets. So 2 for each bed. When one's in the wash, you can still make up the bed with a clean sheet set. So I managed to find excess sheet sets, funny enough, in the linen cupboard. So I got rid of those. Well, I have to check with Woz if I'm allowed to get rid of them first, but they're in a pile to be donated to charity. And also towels, I used the same rule. So two towels each for Woz and I. So when one's in the wash, we could use the other one. And then 2 sets of guest towels. And I got rid of a ton of that. I thought that I'd actually minimised a lot of stuff when we moved from St James to Baldivis, but I still managed to get rid of, I don't even know if I can show you, but I got rid of this massive pile of things from the linen cupboard. And guess what? The linen cupboard looks amazing now. It's all clean and tidy and everything has its place. So I digress, and I'm getting all excited about this because it seriously is an amazing feeling when you start doing this. So I'm actually motivating myself to go and do some more after this video. But they were the 2 examples I wanted to share of different ways to deal with stuff in your house. And as I've already mentioned, it is a completely liberating feeling, and it just makes you feel so free, and it definitely has a flow-on effect of freeing up space in your brain. So I can only just sing its praises basically, and I'm going to keep going. So my challenge to you, to see if this is something that perhaps you could benefit from, is take a walk through your living space and have a look in the storage areas. Think about how long it's been since you've used some of the things in that storage area. Look in your wardrobe. How long has it been since you've worn some of those clothes? Are there any piles of stuff laying around your house? Books, magazines, letters, paperwork? And if you answered yes to any of these things, and if you've noticed that there's stuff in that storage cabinet that's been there for 10 years and you've never touched it, then you could definitely benefit from applying some minimalist principles in your life. And remember, the stuff is creating clutter in your brain, which is then taking up time dealing with it, and then you're less able to spend your life having meaningful experiences, spending time with loved ones. So if you're interested in finding out more, a really good starting point is a book called The Art of Discarding by Nagasiya Tatsumi. And she addresses, the reason I like her book is because she addresses the psychological reasons behind why we are attached to stuff, and some of the psychological reasons that make it difficult for us to discard things. And by discarding, it's not necessarily throwing in the rubbish bin. It could be giving away to a friend, giving away to charity, even selling. So it's not about just chucking everything in the rubbish. She also addresses the whole environmental greenie strategy. I like to think of myself as a greenie, so she addresses that sort of thing as well, because that's a bit of an issue in us greenies, about whether we don't like wasting things or just throwing things out. And we can also continue this conversation if you like. If you've got any thoughts, questions, ideas, then please feel free to share them in the comments of this video. It's in our private Facebook group, Energize Women, so we're the only ones that will be seeing them. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, much appreciate it, and I will see you next week for who knows what topic. Have a great week, ladies. Talk to you soon. Bye.